I don't just talk about money. I'm Cynthia Abbott, a licensed financial therapist, and I help professionals and purpose driven individuals break through fear, shift their mindset, and build lives and businesses that feel peaceful, purposeful, and profitable. For 19 years, I've been in business, and I know where you are because I was there. At 7 years old, I said I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to build a clinic to help people, sick people, get well. That's what I remembered, and it always lived inside of me. So I decided I am going to step out and do what I said I was going to do at age 7. I am going to build a business and help to heal the people. And almost 20 years I've been doing that. I've helped people with different types of degrees in different types of managerial positions to offset their fear because they were busy building somebody else's business. They felt stuck because they were fearful of doing it for themselves. So I help them to show up for themselves and stop doubting themselves, especially when it comes to their money and their confidence. I help them to get to the next step. And I get it, like I said, I've been there. As a single parent with no real family support and stepping out in faith, I know what it's like. It wasn't easy, it was scary. I know what it feels like when you want to do more and you want to be more and you want to be somebody. I know about the fear. I know how hard it is to step out from fear into your faith, but you are capable. You can do it. You cannot allow fear to keep winning. If I did it, you can do it too. Once I faced my own fear, I learned to align my mindset with my passion and my mission. What did you say you wanted to do? Right? And when I did that, everything changed. I discovered that freedom isn't about perfection or luck, it's about courage. Step out of your fear and into your faith. That's why I created the Fearless Reset to help people like yourself. Yes, remove those barriers that block you from your peace, your prosperity, and your purpose. Tonight, we're not just talking about success. No, we are. We're talking about transformation. We're going to share the framework that will allow you to step out in faith, overcome your fears, and live your fullest life ever. Building business confidence by overcoming fear. This is a safe space. This is not therapy. There's no judgment here. It's still not therapy. No comparison to you and me. No pressure at all. Confidence grows where safety net exists. Okay, and you can still see my screen, hopefully. There you go. All right. So let's take a look and see what's happening with this PowerPoint here. Okay, there we go. All right. So fear is not the enemy. It really isn't. Fear is information. It's not instructions for you to stop what you're doing and not live your greatest life ever. That's not what fear is. Fear is an emotion. And we all have that. We all have fear. At some point in our life, we've encountered something fearful. Whether it was you afraid of getting on an airplane, right? Just imagine. A lot of people still afraid of getting on an airplane. There are people afraid of driving. There are people that are afraid of insects. But there are people who are afraid of living out their purpose. But fear always shows up before growth. It's showing up, but you don't have to follow it as an instruction for you to not do what you say you're going to do. Fear protects old patterns, not your future. It just protects the patterns that you have to keep not doing what you say you're going to do, because sometimes we also lie to ourselves. And we tell ourselves we can't do something, but listen, when you were born, were you walking? Were you talking? I doubt it. You had to learn how to walk. You had to learn how to talk. And what happens? You had to take that little baby step after crawling. Most babies crawl first, yes, before they walk. But when they took that step and they fell, remember, you had the courage to get up, or your parents help you up. And they watch you take that next step. And when you started running, you were laughing. You were feeling so confident as a baby. Even without you expressing how you were feeling verbally, you were expressing that physically through laughing. Yeah, look what I can do now, right? So fear is not the enemy. Fear be gone. How fear shows up in business. Let's talk about how it shows up in your business, in your relationships, right? People can be afraid and be in a relationship with someone, or looking to go into a relationship with someone and still have some type of fear. They're afraid of what happened to them in the past may happen to them again. Let's say someone's going to get married again, and they're afraid that if I get married again, this may happen again. That is not a fact. That's stuff you made up. And in business, procrastination is the biggest fear barrier, I would call it. Fear barrier. And hesitation to do what you say you're going to do. Build that business, right? Undervaluing your services and yourself. You have what it takes. You do. Your services are of value to somebody. Someone is going to say yes. Avoiding visibility or sales. Let's say you avoid going to a networking event because you're afraid that someone might judge you. They may look at you. They may talk to you, right? You're afraid of even having a conversation. How are you going to make a sale? It's not going to happen. Overworking to prove your worth. That's also fair. You've seen results, so you don't have to overwork because you can accomplish and finalize a goal that you set out to accomplish. So you don't have to overwork just to prove yourself in business. Fear be gone. Don't you like it? Well, the cost of letting fear lead. What are the costs? Because there's a cost to everything. There's a cost to you doing it, what you say you're going to do, and there's a cost to you not doing it. You miss opportunities when you don't do it. That's a cost. And what does that result to? inconsistent income because you resist the opportunity that was there. There's a cost for that. There's a cost of burnout and stagnation when you just do the same thing over and over, and then you feel that this is not working. And then you go up and down, up and down. Eventually you get burnout. Burnout is a real issue that people are facing. Millions of people are facing burnout and stagnation. That doesn't have to be you. You don't have to pay that price. Fear be gone. So let's get down to how you're going to fix this, because I'll give you just a few tips on how to fix this. Step one is to name the fear. What is your fear? Name it. Write it down. Thinking in ink does make a difference. Write it down. Write down, I am afraid that will happen in my business or finances. Write it down so you can target that, because you can overcome your fear. Fear be gone. So there's facts and there's feelings. What can I prove is a fact. You can prove that you can go to that networking event and get 10 phone numbers. You can prove that you can do a Zoom call and do your presentation. You can prove that you can explain what you're selling to someone and they will say yes. Feelings is what you're assuming. You're assuming that no one will talk to you if you go to the networking event. No one will buy from you. And if you get on Zoom to do your presentation, no one will listen. That's an assumption. That is not a fact. Fear often lives in assumption. You're assuming something will happen that did not happen. And when you continue to assume that something is going to happen that did not happen, because that fear sets in, it eventually leads to anxiety. So there's fear and there's anxiety, two separate emotions, but fear leads into anxiety. Anxiety is in the future, fear is now, the present. Anxiety is you worrying about what's not going to happen in the future. Fear is now, so you can become fearless now. Let's talk about the cash flow quadrant. So as you can see, I want to share a simple framework here that helps explain why fear feels different for different people. Yeah, it does. This isn't about labeling or judgment. It's about awareness. You must be aware, right? Just like you're aware of your surroundings when you go outside, you have to be aware of your feelings. You have to be aware of your business and your mindset and what it's going to take for you to move from the E to the B or from the S to the B. Do you want to be on the left-hand side or do you want to be on the right-hand side? When income depends on one source, fear is logical, right? Because if you don't show up, you don't get paid. That one source. When income depends on your personal effort, burnout is common. It does happen. Burnout does happen because when you're self-employed and you own a job, you don't show up, you don't get paid. So that means when you go from being an employee, having job security, to now owning a job, you don't show up, you don't get paid, so you live with a lot of fear. As systems leverage increases, fear actually decreases, and confidence actually grows. So when you're on the B, on the I side, as a business owner, you have systems, you have people working with you, for you. Eventually, you don't have to do the work yourself. Have you ever worked for a business and you have never seen the boss, the owner? You may see your boss, the supervisor manages you, but have you ever worked for a business where you've never seen the owner? I have. I also built one of those systems because you don't have to show up. You have a system working for you. So whatever you're doing, it's going to continue to produce and it's going to bring you profit and peace and prosperity. Warren Buffett said, if you're not investing, you're shooting yourself in the foot. This isn't about making a leap. It's about understanding your options. Where do you see yourself today? Are you in the E and S side of the cash flow quadrant? Are you on the B and I side? Are you looking to go from job to freedom? Well, freedom lies on the B and I side. Freedom, fear be gone. You don't need to decide tonight. We are where you are today. You don't have to decide. Where do you want to be? That's something you have to decide. What fear has been holding you back? Which one is it? Name it, write it down. This is about clarity. This is not about pressure. This is not a therapy session. Fear be gone. The Fearless Reset VIP experience. You get a private one-on-one support, calm guided clarity session with me. No pressure, no rushing, none at all. The investment begins at $597. That ends end of this month. No pressure. But 2026, it starts at $2,000. The Fearless Reset VIP experience in 2026, you will get over your fear. If you like to continue, there are two valid paths. One, you either move forward on your own. That may take you some time, but eventually, if you're working on it, you will get there. But if you want to get there sooner and you want to explore guidance and support, mentorship does help you to move to your goal faster. Someone holding you accountable does make a difference. You are not behind. There's no pressure, there's no obligation. Your goals are valid. You are where you are for a reason because you've decided to stay there. So just the way you decided to stay there, you can decide to move. You are allowed to begin again. Start over. Press the restart button. So I can be reached on YouTube, LinkedIn. You can reach me on LinkedIn faster, probably. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok. I am also on Facebook. So if you're ready to reset and you want to dive right into 2026 and reset, reach out to me and let's get you to where you want to be because you can become fearless. You can become fearless in one day. Yes, I said it. Fearless in one day. Are you ready? Let's go.